Hey everybody,
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm really glad you're all here. Um, I think it'd be worthwhile if we just took a couple of minutes and went around the table and said who we are and how we know Aura and Brandon. And I'll go first. I'm Greg Dalder, and I'm the facilitator from the center. Been working here with Brandon and Aura here for not very long yet, but it's been enjoyable so far. And my job really is to work with all of us together as part of this child and family team to develop creative ways to provide Brandon and Aura with the support that they need in order for Brandon to really successfully do these things. Now we're going to come back to this in a little while, but come home mainly, get off probation and have a little more success in school basically. But that's my job. And so I'm going to go to you because you're smiling at me next. And so again, just tell us who you are and how you know the family.
I'm Sydney Murray, and I know Brandon and Aura as a very good friend.
Cool.
I'm Brandon. Very important person.
I would say so.
Well, I'm Jerry Archuleta, and I'm a Child Protective Services caseworker, and I've been working with the family for some time. I've also been employed with Child Protective Services for about 12 years and have a considerable amount of experience involving child and family teams, and it has been extremely beneficial for families.
I'm Kevin. I'm Sydney's father and a good friend of the family of Aura and Brandon. I like to think myself as a big brother to Brandon.
Cool.
I'm Kanani. I'm Brandon's aunt, also Aura's daughter, and I'm just here to support the family. And this is Ezra.
Ezra, what are you doing over there, buddy?
My name's Norman, and I'm Brandon's probation officer.
And I'm Aura, Brandon's mother and grandmother.
Another very important person.
Yes.
This is probably a good place for us to also take just a moment and review the interim treatment plan. And by that I mean that I met with Brandon and Aura not too long ago, and we were talking about were there immediate safety concerns, and because Brandon's still in foster care, working towards coming home, and Aura said that when Brandon comes home on home visits, that she's a little concerned that things sometimes could get escalate and get a little out of control, and that it was not safe, that it was a concern of hers. And so what we did with that, Kevin, you're already ahead of me on this one, is Aura really felt that it would be helpful if you were there on a temporary basis during Brandon's home visits to provide some extra support and supervision, and we've gotten that in place,
Right.
haven't we?
Right.
And so that's kind of addressed an immediate safety concern, and I just wanted to put that out there so everybody knows, how we're managing that. And so far, that's going okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very well.
Good. Now we may not need to do that, obviously, in the long term, but for now, that's kind of a short-term way to provide some support and ensure safety. These, I put them up on the board here, were really the primary goals that came out of my conversation with Brandon and with Aura. I mean, Brandon was like, look, I'm interested in getting off of probation, right?
Yes.
You haven't changed your mind, have you?
Nope.
Well, that's good. I mean, he's Norman. He said he liked you, but he'd like to see you heading into the sunset there.
That's quite all right.
And you'd like that too. It comes through. I think the other one is we really, Brandon and Aura wanted to see Brandon get mainstreamed, get back into mainstream classroom. But maybe the most important, I saved the most important for last, was for Brandon to come back home. It's been difficult for him and difficult for Aura for him to be living away from home, and that he's really interested in coming home. And what I said to them was, the difference is, though, is we want you to come home with enough support so that it works, so that it doesn't blow up 3 days later and he's heading back out the door. And that's, I think, kind of what we really need this team to do is to, with recognition of the strengths and the assets and the resources, how do we develop a plan so that that can happen and happen successfully? It doesn't mean there won't be bumps in the road, but how do we plan for it so that it's more likely to be successful? Do you mean share the supervision of the community service
Yeah.
across the team, kind of spread it out
Right.
so nobody
Oh, okay.
has, an
has-
unfair burden or an unfair portion of this? Is that what
Right.
you were getting to?
Gotcha.
What level of support, supervision of the community service do you think you'd be able to do?
I think I can supervise, especially at the complex, with Brandon. Supervise and see that he gets some of the work done there.
Good.
Okay.
Does this feel like enough horses to pull the wagon? How are you feeling about this? Do you think this is a good plan? I mean, what do you think we might need to do to really get this moving?
Well, I think it's an excellent plan, but what I need to do is I need to check with the folks at the complex that were victims of the property damage and make sure that that's cleared and taken care of before we go any further with this.
Yeah, I'd like to volunteer to be the one to go and talk to the victims about this restitution plan. Are you comfortable with that?
Yes, I'm comfortable with that.
And so I'll contact them and talk it over with them and then get back to you and let you know what the outcome was.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
Well, in the spirit of one of our ground rules, which was really that we try to begin on time and end on time, honoring everybody's busy schedule, I think we need to start wrapping up this meeting. We, I think, made a good start on a couple of the crucial goals that Brandon and Aura identified. I mean, the first one was coming home. I'll write up what we discussed today and distribute it to all of you as quickly as I can so that you can
Okay.
review it and make sure that if I missed something that was important that we get it put into a revision. And to the extent that I write it up in a way that accurately reflects what we discussed today, then we'll be able to get your signatures that
Okay.
you're kind of signing off on it and agree that it reflects what we agreed to today.
Okay.
This makes sense?
This makes sense.
Yep.
Just real quick, I mean, this is like the 30-second evaluation. What did you think was good about this meeting, and what did you think was bad about this meeting?
One of the things that I really liked is that we continued to be very positive and strength-based. I think that was an excellent approach, and it's been very beneficial.
Good.
I have like a thumbs down. Next time, can we have some snacks or something?
Okay.
Good point.
That's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion. I'll tell you what, I'll be responsible for snacks next time. You got a suggestion or a request?
Donuts.
Donuts. All right. All right. A woman after my own heart. I'll bring the donuts next time, and then maybe we can talk about who can be responsible for snacks the next time. So the very last thing that we need to do is set a time and location and date for our next meeting. Now, my suggestion would be is that we meet in a couple weeks. I mean, there's actually quite a bit of stuff that needs to occur.
Okay.
And I think if we meet too quickly, we won't have allowed enough of it to occur. You guys with me on that? I see some nodding around the
Yeah.
table.
Okay.
Could we, I mean, is this time workable if we just carve this out 2 weeks from today?
Okay.
Same location here at the center and
Okay.
It works for me.
Works for me.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is, I mean, very clearly, we didn't have enough time today to talk about the school goal, and plus Carol wasn't here, and then to some extent, I think it would have been not the best choice to try to address that when Carol wasn't here. So
Okay.
let's save that for the next time, as well as fine-tuning on the stuff that we've discussed today. Sounds good? Well, I'll see you
Sounds
guys in
good.
2 weeks.
See ya.
Okay, thank you.
As a family, as a Brandon and I family, we believe now that this process can work, that our best interest was with the team, that that we're going to go someplace with this.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Thank you all for
Okay.
coming.
Thank
This
you.
was
Thank you.
Do.